All right, guys. So happy Monday, or excuse me, Wednesday. I'm very, very excited about today's session. Obviously, we have a guest speaker. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. But in true fast form, what we always do for the guest on the line, we always have an agent bring us out on the field. That means that person is here to hype us up. That's that person that leads the haka dance. That's that person that brings the team out on the field for battle. And so I'm actually going to turn it over to Cortez, I'm going to turn it over to you, my man. I love that you've been showing up in such a big way, my man. So I want to turn the mic over to you. What do you have to say to the team? Let's bring everybody out on the field on this beautiful Wednesday morning. So Cortez, let's hit him with it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I was super excited. I'm always excited for group coaching. I was really excited today, so we can always learn. We always get gems.
What's going on, bro?
So I just say, oh, there's Neel.
Hold on,
hey,
let me
Neel.
make sure I can hear you.
Neel, can you mute yourself, bro? All right, I'm going to mute Neel, but go on, Cortez.
Just super excited to hear Neel. We always have this every Wednesday as a special guest. So I urge guests to come every Wednesday, come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just to see how we work here. And someone told me this morning, Ashanti, I don't think she's on here, but she told me she saw such a difference in me on my social media. And I had to give credit to Team Fast for motivating me, for giving me that inspiration that I already had, but just getting me over the hump. So absorb all you can today, guys, and have a good day.
I love it, Cortez. I love it. And I appreciate your insight. And here's the thing, my man, it's not that you're doing something that you weren't capable of doing. It's just that you were around a bunch of people that you saw succeeding and you were pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And man, I've seen you grow tremendously in the last few months. So great job to you. So you guys, before we get to Neel, before I do an official introduction, and Neel, good to see you, my brother. We'll do a mic check in just a second. I want to share some thoughts with you, and it's really rooted in excuses or non-excuses. When you look at the headlines right now, I'm just going to share some of my notes with you. When you look at the headlines, when you look at the market, when you look at the media, you have to ask yourself this question. And I think it's really, really important. Are you going to allow all those things that are happening in the media and the headlines to either A, validate your excuses why you will not succeed in this business, or are you going to let it fuel you, right? You guys, I've had the fortunate opportunity to speak to thousands and thousands of agents. And I've spoke to agents, and I've even spoke to agents recently that are still making excuses why they have not succeeded because of the pandemic, which happened 2 years and 4 months ago, still making excuses. But when we look at our environment and you look around, there's people that in pandemic year, their very first year in real estate, sold 30 homes, sold $26 million in production. Why? Because they didn't allow that to be a reason why they weren't going to succeed. So no matter what we do, you guys, this is the time, this is the era, and this is the cadence of what you're going to hear from any top player in the business right now. This is a time of visibility, and your visibility is going to be more important than it's ever been. If you're that person that's sitting on the sideline and is reluctant to want to create, to put their voice out there, then you need to find what your true identity is. Who are you? What is your purpose? What is your mission? And as long as you live in that and you're sharing that and you're walking in that, you guys, I promise you, your success is on the other end. So don't make any excuses about what's going on in the market right now. We're simply going to find a way, because that's what champions do. And when we talk about champions, that's why we have Neel here today. Neel has found a way. He has grown his business. He is become an expert in building content and become an expert in marketing. And that's why he's here. That's why he has a Ford Academy. That's why he put on the event in Vegas, and he's winning in a big way. So no matter what, he's constantly finding ways, finding avenues, and finding opportunities to grow. That's why I wanted him here. Not everyone's going to hit this stage and grab the mic in front of you guys. It's the people that I feel that are going to make the biggest impact. And so Neel, my man, I'm really excited to have you here, to have you share your thoughts, share your insight. And so I want to have a full stream of consciousness with you today. You guys, if you have the opportunity to put your cameras on, I want to encourage you to put your cameras on, be present. And I also want to encourage you to take notes. But the last thing I want to encourage you to do is to take action. Take something from today's session, one thing, I don't care what it is, one thing, and say, you know what, by the end of the day, I'm just going to sit in my office, in my car, in my home office, and I'm going to create one piece of content. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Neel Dhingra. And Neel, let's go ahead and get into it, my man. Super, super stoked to have you here. So thank you. And I'm going to turn the mic right over to you.
Hey, thanks, Elias. There was quite a few familiar faces I saw at Forward, and Kenny was there. Elias, where were you at, bro? That's the question I have.
I was on my way to Alaska.
Oh, okay.
I
You
was
got a
on my
good
way to Alaska to
excuse.
get my daughter.
I
I know.
thought you were gonna be like, "Yo, I was at my sister's barbecue," or
Nah, bro.
you're gonna be like,
I
"Come
was on
on,
my way
bro."
to get my baby.
That's that. You got a valid one there, but we went over a lot of cool things there, and in the network, and learned from some of the top leaders. And this is the thing I've been dealing with over the last 3 years. And everybody here right now, and like Elias said, if you have ability to turn your camera on, please turn it on, because I'm going to tell you what, like in the next 30 minutes, we're going to go over something that could really impact your business, and quite frankly, it could change your life, because that's what it did for me. And so I want you guys to understand the impact of this. It's not some bullshit, some social media strategist, another guy coming on here to tell you some theory. This is me in practice. I'm in the trenches, just like you guys, closing deals every day. I manage a team of people just like Elias and Kenny, and we are executing on this strategy every day, and it works. That's the key. I only want to run plays that work, because I don't have time to mess around. So the way I've done this is through trial and error. So would it be cool if you guys could skip a year of trial and error and we could just go to the plays that work? Would that be good with you guys? Okay, cool. So let's just go straight into it. So here's the deal. Everybody here on this call has a problem. And this problem has been amplified. It has been magnified by the market that we're in right now. The problem is that you have this sphere. Everybody calls it your sphere: friends, family, coworkers, and then past clients, and these are the people who hopefully know, like, and trust you. If you suck, they don't like you and they don't trust you. So let's just assume that you're good at what you do and you like helping people buy real estate. Let's assume that you like, and you're good at the job. You're decent at the job. So that means you have a sphere of people that know, like, and trust you, that could refer you a client. Well, how often does somebody need to buy or sell real estate? It's like once every 5 to 7 years. So basically, it was super popular the last couple of years. So a bunch of people were doing it, right? And then now you're in a normal market, and people feel like the world's ending, but we're in a back to a somewhat normal market, coming off this crazy drug-induced high of 2% and 3% rates. So that's why it feels like we are hungover a little bit. But here's the deal. You need more than what your sphere can give you. That's why you guys work leads. That's why you guys are constantly out there. So what I want to do is give you a strategy that can expand your sphere, because anybody who's reached a ceiling in growth, it's because they were thinking in terms of linear growth. You're thinking of, how could I get my next deal? How could I get my next client? I want to give you a strategy that is going to get you the next 100 clients, and that you could be working simultaneously. So when I think about business, I think about micro and macro. So like micro, day to day, I want to make my calls. I want to follow up on the deals. I want to make sure things are closing. But then I need to have a bigger picture strategy above that's generating me business, that's keeping me top of mind, that's building awareness, that's building my brand, right? I have a brand, right? And that is me, my name. It's not, you guys have a brand, Fast Real Estate, but you also have a brand of just your name. That's called your personal brand. And that's what your reputation is. So the way I've done this is through content marketing, right? And, people put out content. A lot of people put out content, but they don't understand content. And then it fails. It doesn't get any traction, or it doesn't work. So the reason why it doesn't work is because you are thinking of the end goal. You are thinking of, like, I would like a deal. I would like a referral. And you're mixing sales into your content marketing, or you're not thinking of the viewer first, right? So that's what I want to show you today is, like, okay, if I were to say my goal with marketing, which is different than advertising, okay? Advertising is like, come to this open house, or here's a new loan program. Please hit me up if you're interested. Marketing is like educating people, building a brand. So, let's just pick somebody here, like, who is it that I met at the event? There was a gal I met at the event. I don't know if she's on here.
Ben was at the event. George was at the event.
Exactly. So let's just say, the band Ben, personal brand. Okay. What do I think of when I think of this person? Well, I think of this person knows their stuff. They help people. They're a good person, and I want to work with them, right? That's your brand, right? So my brand is, I'm a nerd who knows a lot about real estate and money and investing. So the amount of people who think that about me is thousands of people. So let's just say thousands and thousands of people, when they think of questions about real estate investing or home loans or finance, they think of Neel. What do you think is going to happen to my business if that happens, right? And that's what's happened for me. It takes time, but it works. And the reason why it works is because everybody can't think beyond this week. So if you could think about today and this week, but you could also think about next year and the year beyond, then that's how you can dominate. That's how you can crush this business, because you have to have a bigger picture strategy. Otherwise, it's just a treadmill. You know, you just run it, and then eventually you get fucking tired. And I get burnt out a lot. You know what I mean? It's a hard business. And the thing is like, we're asking to make a lot of fucking money. We're asking to make money. We're like, yo, I want to make money. I want to make the same money as a surgeon. You know, it's going to be fucking hard, right? Like, it's not going to be easy. So it was easy for the last couple of years because the game was easy. But now that it's regular, now the playing field's even. I kind of like it because now we're going to see who's going to come through and who's, you know, who are the weak players that are just going to kind of go aside. So think about this when I'm talking today. Whatever we're talking about today is going to work even more because it's a normal market. Last couple of years, nobody gave a fuck. I was posting videos. They're like, I'm crushing it. I haven't posted a single video in 2 years, Neel, and I'm crushing it. I'm like, good for you, bro. I'll see you in 2024, right? Because they don't have a brand now. They have nothing. They were just transactional. So when you're creating these videos, you want to create a video that would inform somebody or entertain somebody. One of those two, if it's for marketing purposes. If you're running an ad, you can sell. But if you're running a piece of marketing, it's either need to inform somebody or entertain somebody. Now, I can't do these dancing videos where you point to shit and, you know, you twerk. I can't do all that. I can't tell jokes very good. But I'll tell you what, I know a lot about deals. I know a lot about in real estate investing. This is my passion. So I'm going to talk about that. And you'd be surprised how many people are interested in that specific topic because nobody talks about it. It's like the stuff they don't teach you in school. If you surveyed 20 people on the street today, how much money you need to buy a house? They all think 20%, like 70, 80% of them will tell you they need 20% down. Like even today, after all of this has gone on in the market, people still don't understand home buying, home selling, things like that. So first thing is, I'm going to think of topics that would help my clients, inform them. And now here's the next part where people's content fails. They're thinking of these topics and it's very niche. It's very transactional. So a lot of people in the industry talk about the transaction. Nobody gives a shit about the transaction. They care about the end goal. So when you think about, like, let's just say, for example, you know, to give you an example of marketing, right? Does everybody remember when the iPod came out from Apple? Okay, right? So the Apple iPod. If I were to describe that, you'd be like the world's first digital music player, right? That's the iPod. Now, here's good marketing. Here's what Apple did. 1,000 songs in your pocket. Do you see the difference? It's like one is about the product, like the merit, the process, and one is about the solution. So we want to talk about like the solution or the mistake to avoid. So when you think about topics, like if I were to say, here's how to get your offer accepted in a tough market, like that's what a lot of people did a video on last year, right? That video, it'll do okay because a lot of people are interested in it, but it's not like mass appeal. So we're going to take a niche topic and give it broad appeal. So the way you do that is you would say, here's the biggest mistake I see young home buyers making. And then if you're watching it, you'd be like, shit, I don't want to make that mistake. You know, and you'd be like, okay. Then you can get into the fact that their offers are written poorly and that prevents you from getting a good deal, or they're working with the wrong people and they never get into a property. I mean, how many buyers did we work with last year who gave up on this process because they didn't have their offer structure, they didn't have their ducks in a row, and they just never got into contract, right? So you think about those topics, and then you basically put either the benefit or mistake avoidance up front. So here's a way you could save $10,000 when you buy your next home. Here's a simple way to add $5,000 in value to your property when you sell it. Paint the front door. You know, like shit like this, simple things. And the cynical person on here would be like, well, shit, dude, I don't really care about home improvement. I don't even care about this. How's that going to lead to a deal? I'm telling you, it leads to people following you, people sharing your content, the top of mind awareness. And then when you do want to run a sales piece, when you do want to tell people about a property, when you do want to tell people about a new program that would help them buy or sell, now you have their attention because you've built the credibility with them over time, right? You have the trust there. If you just go straight for this pitch, it's not going to work on social. So that's why we need to think about these videos. So I want to give you guys some specific videos that you could do and that these are going to work, because I know for a fact they're going to work. The reason why I know they're going to work is because I'm doing them, our team's doing them. And these are topics that people are actually searching for. So I'm not guessing. I'm looking at Google Trends. I'm looking at Answer the Public. And I'm like, okay, what is the topic that people will be interested in watching right now? And these topics are related to recession. What happens to home prices during recession? What happens to real estate during a recession? How does a recession affect me? How to thrive in a recession, right? And inflation as well, right? So people are worried about the recession, worried about the economy. And what happens is humans are really attracted to confidence and clarity, but they're repelled by confusion. So the reason why you see a drop off in buyer activity is because the news and like Elias just talked about, the news is talking about recession. They're talking about that. They want the clicks, so they scare people. That's fear mongering. That's just what they do. But this gets into the psyche. And then if I'm hearing my aunt tell me this, and I'm hearing the news talk about, recession, then I saw a news piece on Bloomberg that said buying a home costs an extra $100,000 a year because of higher rates. And I'm just seeing all this stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna lay back a little bit from all this, right? I'm just not into it. And so that's what you see people freeze up. That's starting to thaw out now. But the way you can get over this is you can become the voice of confidence and clarity. And you could say, here's what happens to home prices during a recession. And then you can bring up the last 6 recessions. And did you know that the last recession was one of the only recessions where home prices crashed and fell? In the prior 6 recessions, home prices were either flat or went up. That's because real estate is seen as a great long-term investment. And most people actually flock to real estate and take their money out of other assets and put it into real estate because this is a safe place to invest for the long term, right? So that's the information people need to know, right? When you're talking about a recession, or when you're talking about, here's the biggest mistake young people make when buying a home. They're trying to time the market and it doesn't work. Here's why, right? You could talk about these types of things and people are going to watch them because of the hook. So the way you want to structure these videos is the hook needs to be something that would appeal to people who are not just in the middle of a transaction. So when you talk about, here's why you need, like a home inspection, right? Or you talk about these videos, people talk about the process. Like I said, people aren't interested in the process because they may not be in the middle of a transaction right now, but they're going to be, or they know someone is going to be. So we need to talk about, here's the biggest mistake to avoid when buying a home. So again, mistake avoidance. Nobody wants to make a mistake. So if you tell them the mistake to avoid, they'll want to listen. You can also say, here's a way you can save tens of thousands of dollars when you buy a home. And you could bring up any number. Think of a way, like if I were to just ask you, I'm like, yo, bro, what's a way I can save money when I buy a home? You can list them all out. Now you have topics. And the hook is, here's a way you can save tens of thousands of dollars when you buy a home. You can also talk about the way is the real estate market slowing down? Is the real estate market going to crash? When will the housing bubble burst? If I start the video with any of these things, people are going to watch the video. Thousands of people are going to watch it. And the cool thing is right now on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, all the same, they are pushing short form content for free. So just recently, Instagram CEO Adam Mosseri came out and he posted a thing, and it was like a Q&A, and he says, hey, again, he's been saying this for the last year, we are going to take your short form videos and show them to strangers for free. So it's like they just take your video and they show it to a random set of strangers. If those strangers watch it, they show it to more people and they show it to more people. And it just keeps going eventually into virality. And this happens on TikTok and also happen on YouTube Shorts. So they also said something really interesting. He just posted, we're going to push the small creator. So they actually want to encourage people like us to create more videos. So they're going to give you free reach. So if you could make a good video with a good hook, you're going to reach thousands of people for free. Like I've reached millions of people in the last year. I haven't spent $1 on ads for that marketing. When I run an ad, I will pay and I'll run ads. But these aren't ads. These are just informational videos to build my brand. So you have to put them in 2 buckets. And then here's the thing. I want to give you guys a way, because I'm not just about like, let's just, get some likes and views. Like that's cool. I'm about driving business results. Right. So, I want to make money. I want my team to be successful. I want to make money so I can make bigger investments and so I can help more people. That's why I want to make money, right? And so here's the thing. How do you convert this traffic into actual deals? Well, we need a simple call to action, right? A lot of people do vague call to actions or they do weak call to actions. So they're like, call me for all your real estate needs. I don't know what my real estate needs are. I have no fucking clue what that means. Like somebody says that mortgage needs. I don't even know what a mortgage need is, bro. Like, so we need to talk about something simple. So here's a simple call to action you can do. And this would work for everybody. I don't care if you have 50 followers or 50,000. You would go into your Instagram story and you would say, if it's a goal of yours to buy a home in 2022, there are some new programs that would help you with this. And the market has shifted. Buyers can really benefit from this. So if it's a goal of yours to buy a home in 2022, DM me the word home and I'll shoot you over some information. Now what you're doing is you're giving someone one clear step, a simple way for them to raise their hand. And you'll be surprised. There's going to be some people that just DM you the word home. And then now in the DMs, you can send them something simple. So like what I did was here's the mistake people make is they'll go straight to the close. Like, okay, let's set up the buyer consult. Well, they're like, hold up a second, man. I just raised my hand. You got me to raise my hand, but I'm not quite ready to sit down with you yet. So then the next step would be, I have an email. I have a document that gives you the 3 simple steps for home ownership. And then, so you just need to write an email. It could be like step 1, get pre-approved. Step 2, meet with an agent so you can get your criteria. Step 3, blah, 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 right? Write your offer and all that. So step 1, 2, 3. And that email is just something you can copy and paste. So you let the person know. You say, hey, Elias, thanks for messaging me. I have a document, 3 simple steps to buying a home. Would you like me to shoot it over to you? He's gonna be like, yeah. He's not gonna say no, because there's no harm, no foul. Like even if he's not quite ready, he's gonna say yes. Now you've added him to your email list. Now you've sent him an email. He's raised his hand. And then after that, you've given something of value. Now you can say, I don't know if you have any questions on that. We could jump on a quick call. Here's my link to book a call, or you can try and book something with them for a buyer consult, right? So you can go deeper. But this is a way that you'll generate leads. So once I've built my audience, when I do this in Instagram stories, I get like a lot of replies now. So I can generate business on demand. So someone will say, Neel, what's the ROI of doing all these videos? Well, the ROI is I can just go into my Instagram story now and generate business on demand, right? What's the ROI of Kenny Fast posting 50 stories every day? The ROI is he can recruit on demand. He can get people to come to a meeting. He can get people to do X, Y, or Z whenever he wants, because he has people that are interested in what he's doing. So then when he puts out value, and then when he does say something about recruiting, or when he does talk about it, people are interested in reaching out to him. And he may have people reach out to him directly without even asking. So there's 2 ways you're going to get business from this strategy. One way is people are just going to reach out to you. They're just gonna be like, yo, I've been watching your stuff for the last few months. Love it, man. I had a few questions about buying a rental property this year. The other way is that, and this is important, there's more people than the first category. There are way more people that will never reach out to you. They're just sitting there. They'll never call you. They'll never comment. They'll never send you a message. But if you gave them a simple way to prompt them, they would. So there's going to be people that watch all your videos, and then they're going to go to Zillow and then click the button because Zillow prompted them. So you want to be the one to prompt them. And the way you do that is you go every once in a while, if it's a goal of yours to buy a home this year, if it's a goal of yours to buy your first rental property this year, DM me the word invest. Simple, right? I've asked you a simple question and you have a simple way to respond. If you send people to a landing page, no one fills it out. Do this. I swear to God, like when I found out that you need to just tell people to DM you a word, it was like a game changer, because you've told them exactly what to do. If you said, shoot me a message if you're interested in buying, they don't know what to say, so they don't message you. If I say, go to this landing page, they go to the landing page, they click away because they get distracted with some TikTok girl twerking or something. Like they can't keep focus. So you have to give them a simple way. The next thing I found out was that the word needs to be easy to spell, because people are dumb. Like they're just too lazy to do it. So I would say, like, DM me this word. If they can't spell the word, if it's too hard, they won't message you. So it needs to be very simple, clear action step. One thing, just ask for one thing and they will do it. So this, I know I'm giving you guys a lot of information now, but first step, put out informational content that would inform or entertain people. For most of you guys, it's going to be information. Some of you might be able to dance and do all that shit. Then go ahead and do some entertainment as well. But for most of us, it's going to be informational videos about buying and selling real estate, mistakes to avoid, ways to save or make money. Just think about this. Every topic hook needs to be a mistake you could avoid with real estate or a way you could save or make money with real estate. If it doesn't fit those two things, very few people are going to watch it because it's not going to appeal to people unless they're in the middle of a transaction. And as we already discussed, people are only in the middle of a transaction every 5 to 7 years. So we need to be first, it needs to have a broad appeal hook. Then you can inform people. Now you're doing informational videos. I would say start with like 2 a week, just reasonably, Tuesday, Thursday. Eventually you get to like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Eventually you get to Monday through Friday. These reels perform really well on weekdays. People are on social media when they're supposed to be working. They're fucking around when they're supposed to be doing the job. So you'll see the most views on weekdays if you post in the morning, and then it just keeps going. So that's the best time. A lot of people ask me that, okay, when's the best time to post? The best time to post is a weekday morning, right? Like we've tested this across 50 accounts. If you post a reel weekday mornings, you're going to get more views. So like first thing in the morning, you've got it ready to go, just post it. Okay, next thing. Now that you've got some credibility going, you want to get some DMs going. So the way you do this is you respond to other people's stories. You put out stories that would engage conversation. You send people DMs. You react to people's DMs. These are all open conversations in your DMs. The more open conversations in your DMs, the more people are going to see your content, the more it's going to work. Okay, so just be an active user. Be like a real member of the community, not just here to get business. I'm here to use Instagram to be social media, right? So we want to react to Donna's video. We want to react to Liz's picture of food, right? We want to like react to people's stuff and just open conversation. Don't be weird or creepy, but just be normal. So you're doing all that in the DMs. Now, every once in a while, you go in there with the call to action. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this to your phone, everybody in your camera reel has a picture of a house, a video of a house. You should. If not, you should start taking smooth video of properties and go into your camera roll. Find a video of like a dope house, like a kitchen that you saw that was really cool, or a backyard or something, and then post that video in stories, and then put the text over it. If it's a goal of yours to buy a home this year, DM me the word home. There's some new programs that can help you. And then they'll DM you in that box, or you can say, type in this box. If you have questions about home buying this year, type them here or shoot me a message here. And then on that story, you just pick like some music, you know what I mean? So you've got video of a house. So visually I can see a property and I'm like picturing myself in this house, even though it's way more than I can afford, obviously. And then I would message you back the message of like, I'm interested in learning more about this. This is the strategy that marketers use. So you have to think like the big companies do, but then we get to have the advantage. So it's David versus Goliath. But here's the thing. We win because we are local experts in the market who care about helping people. They lose clients because they're big machines, right? They're just lead aggregators. But the one thing they beat us at is they're always building this brand. They're always putting out stuff and getting clients who are interested. So the reason why a lot of us struggle is we're only dealing with the people who are interested in buying right now. So help those people, work your leads, make your calls, but at the same time, have a strategy that would speak to people who are 6 to 12 months out. That builds this top of the funnel. And then eventually there's people dropping into the bottom. And then once you get big enough, now you've got your leads that you're working on every day, but you've also got people that are coming into the funnel who are people that watched your video 6 months ago, 12 months ago. They're sharing it with other people. And you'll be surprised. Like you don't need to get, thousands and thousands of followers. Just people that are in our office here that have a couple thousand followers, they're doing great. They're getting a couple leads a month, solid qualified leads from social media. Plus they're keeping top of mind awareness with all these people. And what's cool about that is 2018 is when I started doing content. 2018 is a down year for real estate mortgage. Rates were like 5%. People were quitting. It was a little rough. And so 2018 is going to be similar to 2022. It's going to be a down year. Like we're about half the transactions as last year. That is the time to invest in your brand. That is the time to put out marketing because your competitors are weak. They go away. And also that's the time you actually have a little bit of extra time to do this stuff. Because then the hardest part is starting. Once you get going, you can handle way more. People are like, yo, how do you do this today? It's just reps. Like if you're not used to it, you can't do it. It's the same thing at the gym. Like, first time I could barely push the bar. Then all of a sudden you're doing all the shit that you're not capable, that you thought you weren't capable of, but you are, you just need to do it. So what'll happen is if you start doing this shit now, what do you think happens after a down year in this business? This business is all about peaks and valleys. I guarantee you that there's going to be another peak coming up, like not like peak like a bubble top, but just like another ramp up, meaning like it gets super busy again. I don't know if that's 2024, 2025, whatever, but just imagine that you laid the groundwork in 2022 when it was a little bit slower, and you put in the work when everybody else was complaining and quitting and watching the news. That's the time to put in the work. So last time there was a recession, I was like, I had this fear, like my wife just had a baby and we were like, I was scared. I didn't have much savings. I was just worried about what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to get my deals from? And that was really bad recession, 2008. And it didn't have much financial security. And this time we're going into recession. I'm not worried about shit because I have a brand and because I have, built up that financial security and built up my personal brand and my network. Right. So if you are sitting here and you've been in this business, I know some of you are newer, some of you have been in the business a little bit longer. So if you're sitting here and you have that fear of like, where am I going to get my next deal? Where am I going to, how am I going to succeed in this business? That means we need to do something different. That means that whatever we've been doing for the last few years has not cut it. That means like it didn't do what it was supposed to do. We just came off an incredible couple of years in this business. So that would mean that we need to do something different going forward. So I would implore you to be like, okay, I'm going to do something a little different now. I'm going to start doing these videos that Neel talked about. I'm going to start doing the things that Elias and Kenny talk about. I'm going to change the game for myself because obviously what I was doing before led to me still being fearful and anxious. So now I need to do something different. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know how many people, we got 200-300 people that were seeing this or seeing it afterwards. There's going to be 13 people that listen to me. Everybody else can be in one ear out the other. That's fine. That's how it is. I understand that. But I'm telling you, I'm really interested in the 13 people who are going to actually do this because it's incredible. It works so well. And the reason why it works so well is because everybody else won't take the time to build a strategy for the next couple of years because they're so focused on today and tomorrow. So what we can do, Elias, if it's cool, is if you want, we could do some quick questions, or if somebody has a topic, I can give you I can give you the hook right now, like live.
Yeah, let's do this, man. I love this. Let's go to Joe Ellen. And then if you have questions, you can put them down below. I'll kind of moderate that or just put your hand up and I'll get to, let's take 5,
Okay.
to respect time. So Joe Ellen, let's go to you first. Let's go ahead and hear from you.
Good morning, Neel. Thank you for being on here. I was at the Ford event and it was life-changing. So thank you for putting that on. My question is, for these call to actions, should we post them on Reels for more reach or stories?
So with Reels, when you're doing an informational piece, you don't want to put a call to action because it messes it up. You could at the end, like text on the screen, you could put, DM me for more information. But if it's about a property, you could definitely put DM me, for more information. But these ones I was talking about were in Instagram stories, because Instagram stories are people who already follow you. They've seen your videos. So they're going to be more willing to respond because they already have that know, like, and trust factor. On the Reels, those are mostly shown to strangers. So if you open up your Instagram, if you've been posting Reels and you go to the insights, you look at the people who watch your videos, the short form videos are primarily shown to strangers. That means these are people seeing you for the very first time. Right. And so it's very hard to get someone for the very first time to,
oh, that's okay. Sorry. Oh gosh, I get
Kids. Hold on really quick.
Megan.
Hold on, Megan. Megan.
Much right now. I know. So
Megan. It's not on the computer. Hold on.
Yeah.
Megan, mute yourself. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that it's going to be hard to get a stranger to just, straight up message you. It could happen, so you could put them in there, but it'll work more effectively in stories.
Great, thank you.
So I love what Aaliyah said here. So does anyone remember what we're supposed to post in our story today? What I wrote here is, if it is a goal of yours to buy a home in 2022, DM me the word home. There's a few new programs that will help you this year or whatever that is. But on the back end, Aaliyah, you need to align with like the Eagle program that gets 17,000. It's 10,000 towards grant money. It's 7,000 towards closing costs, whatever that is.
Or even this, Elias, like honestly, just selfishly, I don't want a bunch of DPA buyers, right? I want more qualified buyers.
Totally.
So here's the thing. If you talk about there's some new stuff to help you, there's going to be broke people who message you. That's just the bottom line. Most people on social media are young, dumb, and broke. unfortunately. But there's also the affluent millennial. And if you think about that, that is the largest group of clientele that we have. It is the guy like me, late 30s, early 40s, whatever, has money, has job, has 401k, has some savings. That's our target. But we need to create the content for the masses to reach the target. If you try just go for the target, nobody sees shit because most people are young, dumb, and broke. So that's why we create the mass appeal content in order to have the chance to reach the affluent. If you create the content for the affluent, nobody watches it. If I give this video is for the few of you who have a great job, have savings, and have a great credit score. Nobody's going to see that shit. So what you have to do is do that, and then you'll find the people in there. So when I say people message me, there's some new programs or the market shift, there's some new things that would benefit buyers. Let's just say it that way, keep it vague. So if it's a goal of yours to buy a home in 2022, there are some new changes that really benefit home buyers. If you'd like more information on this, DM me the word home and I'll shoot it over to you. Now, the changes that are going to benefit home buyers are the fact that the market has shifted and you can buy a home today for literally tens of thousands of dollars less than you would have paid just 6 months ago. That is a fact.
That's absolutely
I can negotiate $10,000 into a credit that I would have been laughed out of the room 5 months ago. And today I can do that. So I don't care that the monthly payment is going to be $300 higher because of the higher rate, because that's temporary. We can refinance. But what's permanent is the fact that we could save you $50,000 on the property. I can get you a credit. We can, the carpets are torn up. We can build in a concession to replace the carpets after closing. We can do this. We can do all these cool things because we can take advantage of the fear in the marketplace right now. So this is the thing I want to tell people about. But in order to tell people about them, I need to bring them in first. So I got to get them in with this line of thinking. Like, I'm going to get someone to raise their hand. Then I'm going to inform them. Then I'm going to set up a consultation. And then hopefully we're going to close. And that's the pattern. Everybody else is going straight for the fucking close. Like, it'd be like, I met my wife for the first time. I just come to her in a bar. I'm like, you want to go upstairs? Like, what the fuck? Like, it wouldn't work. You have to at least say something first. Like, we got to have some conversation. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. So let's give some value first. These are strangers, let's bring them into our funnel. They're not leads. The leads are like when you get a Zillow lead, they've already been watching properties on Zillow for 6 months. They finally called or they clicked the button. That is a lead. They're ready to be sold. They're ready to look at a property. This is not the same clientele on social media.
Love this. Love this. Otis, he's moving around, my man. He's excited. He's got something on his mind. Otis, what's your question? Otis going once, Otis going twice. All right, cool. He's having a problem unmuting. Let's go to another question. Where can you get real estate updates to read daily so you know what's going on in the markets and can use it to create? So I'll answer first and then I'll turn it over to Neel. For Sarah, since you're in the East Bay, just go to the East Association of Realtors.org. You can do community stats and watch the weather report. That is one of the best videos and local information that you can get about the real estate market locally. And then you take that information, dissect it, and put it into your own messaging. Neel.
All right. Yeah, I would say keeping current matters. You can go on Google alerts, anything tied to real estate, your city, your market. You can put alerts so that you get news alerts when news articles come out about that. Now, here's the thing. Take the news with a grain of salt, because like we talked about earlier, they're going to be a little bit skewed to the negative side because that gets more clicks these days. But you can still use it for information, because you can also use it like the news just put out this article. But here's the deal. It's not giving you the full story. I want to give you the part. Here's a great hook I just thought of. Here's what the news won't tell you. So the 2022 real estate market, here's what the news isn't telling you. People are actually winning behind the scenes. Here's how. They're doing X, Y, Z with with their offers, right? So think about that, you have to think about how recessions are where, this is where millionaires are made. Rich people love recessions because they have an opportunity to get better deals on assets like real estate. Doesn't mean you're going to see a crash and buy it for 40% off, but it does mean that you have more leverage as a buyer. And you know, so like what good were these super low rates if you couldn't even get into a house? Like it was you know, like what, you couldn't use them. It was cool, looked cool on paper, but you couldn't buy because there was 40 offers on the place and you're a first time buyer. So you got smoked out. So like use the current situation to your advantage.
And you know what, a lot of the headlines, you guys, we know that this is macro information. If you're in a market like Los Angeles, if you're in a market like San Francisco, we have microclimates within our climate. And so let me share with you the reality of what is actually happening in the real estate market. I'd want to listen to that. And that's the script right out of Sales Mastery. Otis, let's go to you. You had your hand back up, brother. If we can't get you off of mute, we're going to have to move on.
Okay. My bad. My phone was tripping. It's going back to when he was talking about the reels and targeting those people. How do you feel about hashtagging, like for instance, getting into that market so the algorithm takes you to those people? Like for instance, you were talking about people that didn't have the money, so putting maybe hashtag pre-approval, hashtag home buyers. How do you feel about that? Because Instagram will take that algorithm and take you there, because you mentioned that reels do.
Yeah, so you could use that.
Don't follow you.
Can use, so the hashtags you want to use you want to use just 5 hashtags. They came out and told you that. A lot of people used to put like 30 tags in their comments or their caption. Instagram said that's spammy. Don't do that anymore. So just think 5 tags that are relevant to the video you're posting. So if your video was about first-time buyers or home buyers, then you could put hashtag home buyer, hashtag this. But when you put like hashtag East Bay home buyer, like nobody's following that tag, you know, like it's not going to reach targeted people. So these are just broad appeal things. The other way to leverage social that I do a lot is I drive people to my page. So let's just say I never got a lead from social. It was all just a hoax. This is all bullshit. Okay, that's not true, but let's just say that happened, right? Now, here's the thing. What if I just got my leads from other sources? And every time I got a lead, I connected with them on social and they saw my videos. Their opinion of me would go up. My conversion rate would go up. So if I connected with Joellen for the very first time, we don't know each other. She doesn't know who the heck this Neel guy is. And I emailed her, and then in my email, in the text, not hidden in the caption or in the signature, I wrote in my body of my email, let's connect on Instagram. And I had the link to my Instagram. And they go to my Instagram and they see all these great informational videos about real estate and finance. What's her opinion of me going to do? Like, it's going to go up before we've even spoken. And then my conversion rate with her is going to be way higher, because when we get on the phone or when we meet, she's already going to have an opinion of me. Like, what it's called a frame of reference. Today I come to the call. Some people have been to my event. They've seen my content, or Elias, posted about me, or somebody said something. So now you have a frame of reference to listen to me. If I just came on here as an unknown dude, like, you guys would be like, you might listen because I have good shit to say, but you wouldn't be prepared for the information. There was no frame, right? So you want to give them that frame of reference first, which is like, okay, here, I have a history of doing this. Like, here's some great informational content. So that's the purpose of doing it for a longer period of time, because now you can leverage it for other things.
Love this. Love this. Carlos Zariel, we have a question from you. And before I go to this question, I think that everyone needs to go back and watch the ad campaign, think differently. And if you've never watched that ad campaign, it has nothing to do with a product, has nothing to do with technology. But what it did is it inspired you to feel different. Because when Steve Jobs left, Apple was fired. He left for many years, started Pixar. He came back to Apple because they lacked innovation, and they launched the Think Differently ad campaign that talked nothing about the product. What they said is that we're going to challenge the status quo, and we are going to change the way humans communicate, right? That's something I want to probably know about. That's why Apple, there's probably phones that are out there that are better. There's phones that are out there that have better cameras, but this is associated to a feeling versus associated with
that's about being custom, not corporate. So all these big companies, Open Door, blah, 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 Zillow, they're great. They're corporations that are huge, big things. We want to be custom, not corporate.
Man, I love that. I love that. Carlos, let's get your question, my man, and then we'll start to come full circle in this conversation.
So in regards to content creation, do you keep some type of like schedule? Like, let's say I'm going to post a few reels this day and then this day, or do you have days that you take off to specifically make the content and then just post them on
specific
week?
I'll give you the blueprint, Carlos. You want to create content in batches. It's hard to just do them one at a time. So you want to sit down, have your topics, have your hooks written out, and then now you sit down and shoot like 5 to 10 of these videos. Okay. There's different ways you can shoot them, optimize them. If you guys have questions, just DM me. I can give you like more specific things. If you go to my account on Instagram, go to the link in the bio. There's like you can join my email list, and I'll send everybody a list of equipment that you need and all this kind of stuff. So what you do is shoot the videos in batches. Now you want to post them. You want to have them banked, ready to post. And then the posting schedule would be either Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending on how many videos you have, and post them in the morning. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do. You have the videos, post a reel when Tuesday and Thursday at 8 or 9 in the morning, every Tuesday, Thursday, if you can. And then eventually, if you have enough of them, go to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now you're doing 3 times a week. And then on top of that, post a story, multiple stories if you can every day. Now you'd be like, Neel, I can't post stories every day. There's always something going on. This is calls going on. I got to remember this, by the way, before we wrap up the call. I need to post a story about this call. So nobody can hear you guys because everyone's muted. So I need everyone to just wave your hands, okay, real quick for me. Just wave real quick so I can post this on stories, and everybody can say, Miriam, where are you at? You got to wave your hands. Everybody wave your hands, right? So now what's going to happen with that is I'm going to post that shit on social and be like, yo, I was on this call this morning with an amazing group of realtors. Check this out. And I put the music on and everyone's waving. It's gonna be like, fuck, dude, that's the hypest Zoom call I've ever seen, right? So you have to like, you're with your kids, you're with your family, you're with like doing food. Like look at Kenny Fast, dude. The dude posts more stories than any other human in the world, right? So if you ever need inspiration on stories, like there's no filter. Like you can just start posting more stories. I don't know if I'd post some of the shit Kenny posts, but most of the stuff he posts, I would post it. So just post it, you know what I mean? And then what that does is it creates a relatability. So you've got the feed, which is showing, hey, I'm an expert. I'm a thought leader. I know stuff about this business. I've helped people. And I'll tell you this, there's going to be people here who think that they're not qualified to do this. I'll tell you right now, if you've helped someone get from A to B, or you were once in this spot and now you're in this spot, meaning like you were once not a homeowner and now you own a property, or you own multiple property, or you were once someone who hadn't helped people buy homes and last year you helped 20 people buy homes. You are now qualified, extremely qualified to inform the former category, the people who have not done this yet. So don't think like, oh, you know, I don't have enough industry experience to post these videos. No, we need you to do this, because if you don't do it, they're going to get misinformed by somebody else. So when I wake up in the morning, I say, it's my obligation to do this. I want to help people. I want to inform people, because otherwise they're going to get the wrong information from the media. They're going to get the wrong information from somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. Like everybody knows a bad real estate guy or bad lender, right? So these conversations are happening, but you can beat that by putting out the right information on social, because now you're reaching all these people. But yeah, I would post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then try and stay active in the stories every day.
I love this. Before we come full circle, I'm going to actually wrap up with you, Ernesto, in just a moment here. And Taylor, if you can, post your question in the chat. What I want you guys to do, I'm hoping that this number is more than 13. What I believe about people on this call is that everyone on here is an action taker and everyone on here is growth minded, because you saw that this meeting was happening. You saw that this coaching session was happening. You saw that Neel was speaking. You saw all these people are going to be here. So in your mind, you thought, well, I think that I could take one thing out of here to grow, because you're growth minded, right? And so I appreciate you being here and I'm grateful. My ask is, when you guys, if you would, and I'm going to implore you, I want to push you, I want to encourage you, and I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to take a shot of the screen right now. I want to challenge you guys to take a quick video, and I want to challenge you guys to put that on social media, and I want to challenge you to tag myself as well as to tag Neel, right? This is a big buzz. There's not too many people that are doing this in the industry right now.
Yeah, let's do this, Elias. Let's everybody wave again so everybody else can get the same hype video that I just got. So everybody just start
All right,
waving.
so on like 3, 1, 2, 3, let's go. There it is, there it is, there it is.
Yeah, so now you guys have a video you can post on social. Just put some music on it, tag Elias, tag Kenny, tag me, and just let's make everybody know that we were putting in work this morning to improve our communication, to improve our marketing, to help more people. That is the impact we can make.
That's right. If you're an agent thinking about growing your business in 2022, DM me the word growth, and I'll send you information on how to grow your business in 2022.
Hey, there you go. See, there you go.
Like I'm
Hey,
already
dude, Elias, one quick correction. Some people will not know how to spell growth. You think that's dumb, but they'll mess that up. Just say
Just
grow.
put grow.
Grow. GROW is simple, bro. Like I'm telling you, it works. Dude, I'm telling you, there was a study done and it said if you could reduce your calls to action to third grade reading level, they saw an increase in click-through rate of like 40%. So I'm telling you right now, like it doesn't make you dumb to dumb it down. It makes you help more people.
Cool.
So
I
if you
love
can
it, man.
take a
Thank you for the
complex
advice.
take a complex topic, make it simple. You have a skill now that very few people have. So
love it.
utilize
I love
that. Think about this when you make calls to action, third grade level.
Cool. I love it. Ernesto, I know you're chomping at the bit to chime in and contribute to the group, my man. Let's turn the mic over to you, Ernesto, and then we're going to wrap up today's session.
Yeah, Neel, this has been awesome. Honestly, I have so many takeaways from this. The one question that I have, somebody like you're super busy. And for most of us that are new, just like, what's your process for idea formulation? Like you just sit down by yourself? Do you have somebody helping you? I think that's where maybe somebody like me struggles to come up with like, oh, what are 100 topics I can come up with?
Yeah. So here's how I do it, Ernesto. You go make a list of the questions that my clients have been asking, the problems that they face and how I solved them. Okay. So one side is the questions or problems on one T chart. Other side is how I answer those questions, how I solve them. And then you want to take those topics, turn them into good hooks. So a question or problem my clients faced is they only had $15,000 and they wanted to buy this home. They wanted to buy a $500,000 home. Okay. They didn't have much other money. How I solved that problem was we got them into a product that only required 3.5% down. Plus we got a seller concession for closing costs, right? So here's the script for that video. Here's how you can buy a home even if you don't have a large down payment. That script will do well because it puts the problem, it puts the what the person wants, and then it puts even if you have this common problem that everybody thinks would prevent them. So it's like, here's how you can buy a home even if you have poor credit. Here's how you can buy a home even if you don't have much savings. Here's how you can buy a home even if you just started a job. Here's how you can get any girl's number even if you're 5'6". Do you see what I'm saying? Like you put in what they want and then you put in what they think prevents them from getting that thing as the thing. That hook always works. And what makes that hook even more powerful is if you can say, here's how I did it, or here's how my client did it. So it's one thing to say it in general terms, but it's another thing to say it in personal experience. So here's how I helped my client buy this home with only $14,000. Like, shit, I want to watch that. Here's how I helped a single mom buy this property with only $12,000. Like, fuck, I want to watch that, right? Because it's real. The best type of content is when someone's like, it's relatable. I feel like, hey, dude, if he did it, I can do it. Or if she did it, I can do it. So think about things in those terms and you'll see your views just shoot right up. Everybody else will be like running, call me for all your real estate needs. And they're getting 13 views. And then you do that video and you get 13,000 views. And you're like, that's the difference.
This little role play that we just did was gold. Like I'm gonna go back and watch like this specific clip. Like that.
Is this call recorded, Elias?
Yeah, this call's recorded. It goes on our YouTube channel. It also goes out in our weekly newsletter, and then also goes out into our
watch the replay. I'm telling you, bro. These are everything I say works from my personal experience. None of this is theory. This is practice that's worked, and this has generated me millions of dollars in revenue over the last 3 years for me and my team.
My last question. So you still come up with all your own ideas? You have nobody helping you?
No, I write them. I just put music on in my head and I read stuff and write stuff. And then I do that on the weekend.
Very cool. Awesome.
I like my passion, like my pastime. I'm a nerd. So my passion is like this stuff, business. So I just like working on shit. So I like in my off time, I do this when I'm not with my family or like, when I'm not doing stuff on the off time, I'll just like start reading stuff, look at news articles, start thinking of hooks, think of the things that the media is getting wrong, and then think of ways I could tell the correct story, all that stuff. So, and it seems kind of like boring, but in the beginning, it might be a little boring, but once you get into it, you get more creative. So when you think I'm not a creative person, Neel, I don't even post any stories. Well, just start creating, you'll get more creative. That's how it works. I sucked at Instagram stories. Now I'm good at them. I sucked at video. Now I'm good at them. If you watched a video of me 3 years ago, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? I could barely speak on camera. I was stuttering. I was like, I couldn't say the words. I couldn't be myself. And it's just reps. I don't care if you say you're an introvert. It's not about that. It's just reps. It's the same thing. Like you'll get comfortable. Same with public speaking. Like I would go on stage, my mouth goes dry, start shaking. Now I can speak to thousands of people. So it's just reps. So I'm telling you guys, if you just start doing it, you're going to get so much more comfortable with it. And when you can finally be yourself on video and then stories, that's when it really connects with people.
Yes. You guys, so unfortunately, we don't have any more time. I could sit here all day and have this conversation with you guys, full stream of consciousness. But I wanted to just say thank you to Neel. Everyone give a reaction below if you thought today's session was fire. If you are a guest coming to this session, this is abundance over scarcity. We open this room up just so everyone can learn and contribute and grow together. If you guys like this session, for the agents and for guests, what I'd like to do on Friday is I'd like to have a mastermind on topics and ideas that we're going to launch immediately and take action on this. So on Friday, for our group coaching session, we're just going to go full circle into this conversation. That way I can hear from everybody. On Monday, if you guys want to attend as a guest, please do. We have Chelsea Peets, who is crushing it on social. She is a giant on social. She's actually able to speak for us on Monday. So she's going to be our
Chelsea's great.
guest. Yes, but she is amazing. So you guys, thank you for being here. And thank you for giving some of your time, your effort, and your energy to be here. And I want to challenge everyone, push everyone, and implore everyone to go out and take massive action in their business, because none of this stuff is new to you. You've heard this before, but now you have like a direct focus, you have a hook, you have an angle, and you have a way to think about your marketing in a completely different way. So Neel, I really appreciate you, brother. Looking forward to seeing you in person sometime soon, taking you out to dinner, and just saying a big thank you. So Neel, thank you. And thank you to each and every one of you for being here, growth minded. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Peace, and have a wonderful
Thank you.
day. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.